Welcome to week 2 of the self game. This week we are working on self-love with the help of the 5 simple habits: gratitude, self-care, grounding, support, and honesty. Using those 5 simple habits, we are going to be incorporating them with each base we go through. Last week was forgiveness, the first base. This week is the second base, which is self-love. We are going to be working on how do we love ourselves. That'll be today's. Tomorrow, we're going to be working on body image. Wednesday, we're going to be working on the reality of relationships. Thursday, we're going to have the 7 C's of a self-care break. And lastly, finishing up on our Fearless Fridays, we're going to be working on the fear of being loved and not being loved. Today's topic is the 9 innings of self-love. Unless we love ourselves, how could anybody possibly love us? Because we're always looking for others to give us validation about what love is. If they show me attention, then that's love. If they give me a little nugget, that's love. Self-love is a pole stuck in the ground that cannot be moved, no matter what is going on around you. And that is self-love. You are rooted in your own tree of life. Your tree is growing roots, but it cannot grow roots unless you put it in nurturing soil, watering it all the time, and making sure that it's getting the love that you want. You might have heard of that experiment where they took 2 plants, they put them in 2 separate rooms. One plant was yelled at, told a bunch of awful things, and the other one was nurtured and loved. Which plant do you think survived? Obviously, the one that was loved. Even though it was in the same soil, the same pot, the same seed, it was much more successful in a love room than it was in a room full of nasty comments and negative. And that is what today is. We are picking up our bat with our little hearts that are truly ours. After we've done the forgiveness, our hearts are now our own. They are not attached to other people. We have let them go so we can start living our life. So what are the 9 innings of self-love? Well, in a game, baseball, you have 9 innings. So from start to finish, you have to do the 9 innings. And that is what self-love is all about. The first inning is you have to see yourself. You have to put your life under the glass and see it as is. This is we talked about during Honesty Week. You cannot change, you cannot evolve without honesty. So you have to see yourself as is. The second inning, you have to hear yourself. Like we also talked during the Honesty Week. It's all about listening to our inner voice. We listen to a bunch of other people, but they don't matter at the end of the day if you're not listening to that voice within you. This is your bat. This is your heart. You have to start listening to you. The third inning, validation. You have to validate yourself all the time. Somebody can say, oh, you were really nice during that, and give you all the positive praise. But that is nothing if you do not take it within your own heart. You have to validate, hey, I feel angry in this moment. I feel sadness in this moment. And own it. Own it. That which is within you needs validation. And that is self-love. Number 4, we need to support ourselves. We are the number 1 support system in our lives. Other people can give us advice, like we talked during support week about being a dump or being a cheerleader. I want to make sure whoever my support system is my cheerleaders. I am in charge of dumping. Like we had one exercise during a healing ceremony of writing a letter and dumping everything, that anger, everything out within that letter. Instead of on people, it's on paper. So we need to make sure we are supporting ourselves. The next inning 5, is we need to help ourselves. So support ourselves is validation within you. Help is actual actionable steps that you are taking to take care of yourself. That could be a self-care break. That could be going out like we did in my household and got doorknobs for personal time out, a safe place in the house, whatever it is. You're going to help yourself with an actionable step. That is self-love. Now getting to number 6, which is the self-care, making you number 1. I'm going to have my little model here. You have to be a priority number 1. If you are going to give yourself self-love, then number 1 is you. 1 is you. You are 1. That's it. When you take care of this person, then you take care of everybody else anyways. You will never be shortchanged. You will never be overtired. Not to say, we're going to, talked about the 10 promises last week. We're imperfectly perfect beings. We have things that happen. But when we are on our game, when we're self-love, we say, oh, I did that. You know what? I apologize for that. That's my bad. Whatever it is. But you are the number 1 priority. The next inning, which is the hardest, that we had a whole week on, is to be honest with yourself 100% of the time. That's inning 7. Point blank period. There is no point in time where you cannot be honest with yourself. We talked about honesty with others, but with yourself, it is 24/7. Coming to inning 8, we are almost there. We have to start trusting ourselves. We are, like the 10 promises says, imperfectly perfect beings. But we have to start trusting ourselves. We cannot do the other innings without trusting ourselves to see ourselves, to hear ourselves, to validate, support, help, make ourselves a number 1 priority, be honest, unless we trust ourselves. That is so important. And then we get to the last inning of self-love. Now, if we are doing everything correctly, this is love. And this is your heart. Now, see, it still has the scars there, but it's no longer affecting you because we are putting love into this. So we now see ourselves. We now hear ourselves. Validate, support, help. Made ourselves a number 1 priority. And we are being honest with ourselves. We trust ourselves. And with all of that, now we filled up our hearts and we are free. Do not put the cork on yourself. You got all this now within you, within your heart, all this self-love. Make sure that you are free. Anything that doesn't make you feel free, go back to the other innings and make sure you are upping your game in each inning. So that way you never put a cork on yourself, ever. So let's finish out with our gratitude practice. Hopefully you got a lot of great nuggets in there. Again, just for all of you, my name is Jennifer Rose. I am a spirituality coach. We have the 10-week Transform You program. the 5 habits we just completed, and we're now into the self game. I definitely recommend you to go back and review anything to see if you have a message just for you that you might need for your growth and for you to transform. Give thanks for a little and you will find a lot. Taoist proverb. Let's do that one more time. Give thanks for a little and you will find a lot. Just a little bit and we have a lot. A little bit of effort, a little bit of care, a little bit of concern, a little bit of everything that you give everybody else, now you're putting into you. And that little bit that you put into you can be a lot for you. And we're never putting this cork back on there. We are free. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if there's anything that I should be able to address in any one of my videos. You can drop a comment. It's all about love this week. Take care. Bye.